please make sure y'all hit that like button. Please make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Please make sure y'all hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, thank you for tuning in to Culture Radio. Hakeem and Jordan, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? How was your Father's Day weekend, gentlemen? How was it?
It was wonderful, man. What
Hey
about
man,
you?
it was wonderful, man. It was grateful, and it's not just being a father, but connecting with other fathers too. Text messages, and talking to them and everything. This feels like I'm just telling you guys. Once you guys becomes a father, having a child, and once Father's Day comes, it's like you guys. It just feel like you're united with all the fathers around. That's close to you, friends and family and everything. And that right there was a beautiful thing. So yeah, I can't wait for many more Father's Days. But yeah, I ate good. I went out, I had a good time. So
I
grateful to have
saw.
grateful for having a good Father's Day and many more to come. So happy about it.
Yeah, same here. My Father's Day was pretty much simple. I came back in town. When I came back in town, chill with my father for a bit, and then I had to get rest up. I had to go to work later on that evening. But it seemed like it was a regular, a lot. It seemed like a regular day. However, it was really good. Spending time with my father. My people came through, so we had a good old time. Had some great food, some great lunch, and it get what it is. Whoa, Ashton's here in the building. Shout out to Big Bird to be the first one in the building. We really do greatly appreciate it. Yeah, so it is what it is. So not that being said, Jordan, what's going on in the sports world? What's going on? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, last time we talked about on Friday, it was Game 4 against Dallas, and we thought it was gonna come be a sweep, but Boston came out and they did not show up, and they did not close the deal. But they playing tonight, Monday tonight, Game 5. Game 5 is back at Boston's and everything, and hopefully Boston might close the deal, or does Dallas have the momentum to keep it up and push it back to Dallas for a Game 6? Because sometimes Boston, they can be lackadaisical sometimes, even though they have a very, very good team. They got one of the best rosters in the NBA. But when you saw Game 4, they didn't bring it. It was very lackadaisical. And, it might push it to the game tonight, Game 5, it might be lackadaisical. But we don't know, but we're gonna see. But what's your guys' thoughts for tonight's game? Who's gonna win? Is Boston's gonna seal the deal, or is Dallas gonna push it to Game 6? Go ahead, Akeem.
For me, like I say, they didn't sweep and we was almost there. Um, a lot of people I've been hearing say, "Oh, they did that on purpose so they can win at home." And I say, no, only an idiot would do something like that. You just knock them out. I do think they're going to beat them by 10 points. That still is my prediction. 10 points. 10 points. It's not going to be a slaughter, but it's going to be 10 points.
By Kyrie and Luka Doncic coming back with that connection again. I see Dallas winning again tonight. I see them beating them again by 20 points. I think they figure out Boston defense and also Boston offense. Like I stated before, in Game 3, they had a 22 run. It was Jason Kidd who called timeout that messed up the final minutes of the game. If you don't call timeout, it would have been 2-2 right now. But now it's 3-1. Going into Boston is a very tough terror dome. Everybody know, and Boston is very tough when it comes to them playing at home because their arena is very exciting, very electric when it comes to their own Boston Celtics fans. So they go on, they scream and they shout. They sometimes might throw things at you. But I think Luka's ready for tonight's game. I see Luka doing about like 33 to 34 points, and also Kyrie Irving doing a 30 points game over there in Boston. Because it's been a while since Kyrie actually had a good game in Boston. 'Cause right now, Kyrie is 1-13 when it comes to playing against Boston. He doesn't play well, but I think now he got his niche, and I think it's going to continue tonight. I think I see them going back to Dallas, and I see Boston winning in Game 7 when they go right back home. But right now, the NBA tickets is Hakeem and Jordan. You won't believe it, like close to $5,000 a
It's
ticket.
high. It is. Yeah.
So you think the NBA gonna want to end the game tonight? I don't think so. Some people say it's rigged. It may be rigged, it may be a business move, but they're making a lot of money when it comes to this NBA final because everybody's tuning in. You have the Boston, you have Dallas fans tuning in, and I think tonight it doesn't end. I see them again over there in Dallas, and Dallas will win that game too, game 6, and Boston will close them out in game 7. Go ahead, Jordan.
For me, Porzingis, he was out the last couple games, but they saying that he's doing everything to come back for tonight's game. But that being said, I still got Dallas winning tonight. I feel like Luka Doncic, he's going to get a triple-double between 30 and 35 points. I believe Kyrie. I think Kyrie, he's going to explode in the Boston Garden tonight. I think he might go up to 40. I think he might score 40 tonight. I think he's going to, hit his shots. I think he's going to be in a good rhythm. And I think Luka's going to, with Kyrie's going to be in a good rhythm, I think, Luka's going to keep feeding him. And I feel like, Kyrie, he's going to show, like, hey, the past game 1, game 2, he didn't show up. I think game 5, back in Boston, he's going to be that assassin mentality. And I feel like he's going to be feeling it tonight. And that's my prediction for tonight's game. And it's definitely going to go back to Dallas, game 6. And I figure that, we'll see how it is and everything. But like I said, if Porzingis plays or not, I still got Dallas winning. I got Dallas winning tonight. They're going to take it back to Dallas.
And now that, but shout out to the Florida Panthers. They right now is 3-1 in hockey. Shout out to, I'm a Florida Panthers fan. I think they will close them out tomorrow when it comes to hockey because they come back to South Florida. They're going to end that. And I will have that gear ready for me coming in the mail because I like the Florida Panthers. So shout out to them. They played an incredible season. I think they're going to end it with the Orioles because the Orioles ain't really playing well. I don't know why the way the Florida Panthers were playing at the last game. I don't know why they had allowed them to score 8 points. They only scored 1 point. But I figure they want to close them out at home, and that's what exactly they're going to do in the Florida Terror-Dome. So Florida Panthers, I think they will be closing them out tomorrow night. At 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So
I got a question: if they win tomorrow, this will be their first championship? Stanley Cup?
No, second.
Okay.
But it's still a historical a win because they was literally the underdog. Nobody expect them to go this far. So for them to go this far is really, really, really good. Look, especially when it comes to hockey. Hockey is a very tough competitive game, not as easy as people think it is. Because at first I thought Dallas was gonna go all the way and they lost. So Florida Panthers, good luck. And I have a friend of mine who is really a heavy Florida Panthers fan. Two people I know. And they are excited for tomorrow night because they know they're going to close them out. It's going to be 4-1, and that's how it's going to go. So here's Sugar. Sugar, we know you don't like sports, so you could just log out, and we'll talk to you later.
Sugar, you kind of early. Usually she late to the party.
Hey, I'm surprised.
I'm shocked that she came in so early.
Nobody paying Sugar no mind. I ain't paying Sugar no mind. But right now, Sugar, we're going to talk about the money. Because I want to go on more vacations. So, Jordan, what's going on in the money side? Let's talk about the money.
Let's talk about the money. So, it's a summertime coming up. Summertime, everybody want to travel and everything. And the thing is, it's like when the summertimes come out, it's usually scammers come out. Usually want to scam people and everything. And then this time we want to. I'll have a video clip to talk about how to protect yourself from scammers because. You travel to a different country or go to a different city or different state and everything. You might be a time that you might stop somewhere and use a car and you might be scammed somewhere from a gas station, anywhere. So you want to make sure you guys protect yourself from scamming. Don't want to lose your money. So we do have a clip for you guys to play. Go ahead, I can't play it. After that, we're going to chop it up. Okay, Nino.
Attempt to obtain personal information or money from unsuspecting people by impersonating government employees. You knowing the signs and reporting the scam, it helps us stop the scammers. The imposters may sound legit, but no, it's a scam because Social Security will never suspend your Social Security number or send photographs of federal credentials or badges. It's illegal. Social Security will never pressure you to take immediate action, including sharing personal information. Social Security will never ask you to pay with gift cards, prepaid debit cards, wire transfers, cryptocurrency, or by mailing cash. Social Security will never threaten you with arrest or legal action because you don't agree to pay money immediately. And cost of living adjustments are automatic and don't require you to do anything. Always be cautious when you see spelling errors and bad grammar. And Social Security will never ask you to use a link that doesn't have SSA.gov in it.
We hope this has helped you quickly spot scammers. If you receive a call, email, text, or message on social media that seems suspicious, report it and help slam the scam. Learn more at ssa.gov/scam.
So reason I want to talk about this topic, talk about the money, because you want everybody to make sure to protect your money at all costs. Scammers could come out anywhere you go by using your personal information. They can either call you from a fake bank, talk about a job position. They could text you. I've been getting texts, maybe once a week about something about scamming your money and everything all the time. Now they text you, they emailing you. These people, scammers, they try to get smarter and smarter on how they can scam your money, and from social media, all that type of stuff. So it's very, very important, to protect your money for scammers and everything. It's just very, very important. But go ahead, Ronnie. What's your take about protecting your money when it comes to scammers? Because usually in the summertime, people like to scam.
But shout out to Fresh Sound and Urban Noise also in the building. Shout out to the lovely to Vincent, the mom mother is in the building. Of course, the lovely Sugar Bum is also in the building. Ashton Weems, aka Big Blur, Big Shicey, is also in the building. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for always tuning in. Not only that, but thank you guys for always watching us on Instagram, Facebook, and also Twitch and Kick. Make sure you guys follow Twitch World, Kick World. Make sure you follow. Don't forget to follow while y'all guys watching us over there, because we see our views are going up over there. Make sure you guys follow, and don't be afraid to comment in the comment section, and also on Instagram and also on Facebook. Don't be afraid to comment if you're a first time watcher or a first time listener. Make sure you comment. Also, shout out to the lovely Bobby Bryant and also the lovely Sherry Bryant. I know who's listening, and also Sky and also Gorilla Black. Them people's always listening, even though they may not be in the comment. But Bobby is. So shout out to Bobby. So this is why it's very important to make sure. I always tell people, make sure do not click those links in your phone. Even though you may receive a text messages, do not click it, because as soon as you click that link, they will automatically they will download your information immediately. These scammers are smart. They understand the system. They understand technology advanced to the point that you can click a link and you get everybody personal information off their phone, because everybody have their personal information on their phone. So guys, you be very, very careful. It happened to me already. One time I clicked a link. I thought I ordered something from Amazon. I clicked it and they took all my information. But I was able to move very swiftly, and I was able to not be able to lose anything. So I maybe changed my account, changed everything that fast, because I knew, like, hey, almost got scammed. And like Sugar Bum said in the comment, she knew a lady that got scammed from an African for $20K. So that's how serious it is. It is. And mind you, they don't really go for young people, because they know young people are very smart. They doing their research. They're going to older people like my auntie, Hakeem, I think your mother, Jordan, your family member, like older folks, because they don't really know too much about technology, and that's how they get people. So guys, be careful, especially right now if you're traveling. When I travel, I normally don't use my debit card. I normally use credit cards, because credit cards you can easily dispute everything.
They got the best fraud protection on it.
They do. Credit card, they really do. That's why I say when I travel, I always use my credit card. I don't never use my debit card. There's some people that really use their debit card, but I find it to be very, very dangerous. But go ahead, Hakeem.
And Ronnie, tell people this. Stop using the ATM machines outside.
Yeah.
Stop. If it's not your bank, don't use the ATM machine. You got to remember, a lot of people got them card machines. They can read your card number from a distance. I got this right here. This is an RFID wallet. When
Mhm.
people can scan your thing, I got this specifically for that reason. Because people can get your card number by tapping your thing. So this, it blocks out electric the thing. It's RFID.
But
Yeah, the
not only that, but even when you go to the drive-through, you also got to be careful too, because sometimes people will be at the
Yep.
drive-through have those things too. Because I seen one time it was a girl. I think she went viral. She was working at
Yep.
BK. She scanned somebody's card, but she was scanning into another machine, and the person didn't know, and the lady ended up getting like 10K off someone's card. So that was a most of the time. If I go to a fast food restaurant, I use my credit card. I know Dave Ramsey is against that. But at the same time, I think the credit card is more safer than actually using your
Yeah.
debit card. Or if you have cash, use cash. But go ahead, Akeem, your take.
No, definitely. I've been scammed before. First time I got scammed was for $500 in New York City using my debit card at one of those ATM out on the streets. And then another time I got scammed for just surfing the internet buying shit. So what Roni is saying is 100%. Stop using your information. Use a VPN. Make sure you on secure websites. You know what I mean? Because this is your money. And another thing is too, don't put all your money in one account because you gonna get scammed. And then sometimes it takes 7 to 8 business days for the bank to be figuring out what's going on. Like, hey, you know what I mean? So you don't want your bread to be tied up. So, you know what I mean? You spread your money around.
Yeah, I agree. And also, like I said, I rarely use my debit card no more. All my personal information is on my phone. And I use, if I use also my credit card too, I pull all I use the wire scan, and I use my phone and everything because, it's just like I said, scammers are getting smarter and smarter and smarter every day, and they'll definitely find a way to try to take your money. Like I said, to see you text messages and everything. And the thing is, it's like like I said, you was right. We're rare in our age when it comes to my mom or grandmothers, the grandfathers, where they say text messages and everything. They be like who is this and everything?
Yeah.
I remember when my grandmother, she was here, for the week, and my mom. And I remember her Facebook got hacked and everything. So what I had to do, I deleted all her Facebook. She had like multiple Facebook accounts. So I deleted that, made her a fresh one and everything, and to let her know about all the scammers that come in and everything. Some family members are not your family members. They might be scammers. They'll send you send some of your messages to say hi, hello, like your cousins. But the thing is, it don't really be your cousins or your family, anything like that. So I think this is really most important for our elderlies and everything, to make sure you protect your money. Yeah, Ronnie, I agree 100%. Credit cards are very safe because it's a fraud. You get credit back real quick and everything, except for the bank. Like what Hakeem was saying, it can take over a week or so to process and all that type of things as well. But yeah, people, just make sure you stay safe around the summer. If you go to a different country, make sure you use your credit card, cash, or switch, or if you want to switch currency from cash to pesos or yen, wherever country you're going to, this is very, very important to watch out because, like I say, you don't want to get, all, and you don't want to go in and then, look at your account and all your money is gone and everything, And also in South America too, be safe. They scam a lot in South America,
Yep.
Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil. And they're really, really good at scamming people especially from out the country. So yeah, guys, really protect yourself out there. And like I said, because I know you want to keep your money and save your money. You don't want you to lose your money.
Sugar Bone said she like she'll protect. I heard that I will protect your money to transfer. Hey, what's your DM? I'll do it because I love a woman that can take care of my money and protect my money. That's like to me, that's marriage material. If you can protect my money and flip my money, I will marry you tomorrow. That no cap, no shit. Shout out to Hassan. Shout out to Hassan for also being in the
Hassan, what's
building.
good, family?
It was good with you. And Natasha said she have cards for different things, like when she do online purchases, so she can get cash back. That's another thing too. People can realize too. There's some good cards out there that give you good money when it comes to the aspect of cashing back. And not only that, there's also card. I think Bank, like I said, Bank of America do that. Any purchases you make, they not only give you cash back, but they also put it in your savings account as well. I think like a small percentage. So whatever money you spend, I think it's like 5 or 10%. They put it into your savings account to help you save as well. I'm also in that program when it comes to the aspect of Bank of America. But like Jordan said, guys, make sure you safe. Make sure your pocket's safe, and not only that, make sure this is also very make sure every morning you check your bank account and make sure everything is correct. Anything that look funny, make sure you report it, report it, report it. Because a lot of people they quit to go on social media, but they're not quit to check their bank account. Check your bank account, even though you may not have nothing in there, because some people don't have money at all in their bank account. Still check it because you never know what's going on if you don't check it. Like check your account. Very important. And that being said, guys, make sure you walk in, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. We're about to get started. So, Jordan, let's get ready with these topics. What is going on in the world?
All right, let's start with the mini gritty. We're gonna start with the topic that's right here, and this was breaking news earlier a couple hours ago, and that's Bishop Lamar Whitehead was sentenced to 9 years in prison. We have talked about this man before last year about his fraudness and everything, his and also when he got robbed from the church and everything. But today he was sentenced to 9 years in prison. So I'm gonna get a little bit more detail with it. Hakeem, I did find a video, 30-second video. So once I get done, you can play the video. I already sent it.
All right.
So Bishop Lamar Whitehead was sentenced to 9 years in prison in a series of financial fraud crimes that netted him millions. Of federal prosecutors said. He was convicted back in March of wire fraud, attempted wire fraud, attempt extortion, and making false statements to the federal law enforcement agency. The bishop at the leaders of the Tomorrow International Ministry Church in New York made headlines back in July 2022 when armed robberies robbed him and his wife of $1 million worth of jewelry during a live stream service. The bishop was called a con man by the U.S. attorney. Bishop Whitehead is a con man who stole millions of dollars in a sting of financial frauds and even stole from one of his own personaries. He lied to the federal agents and again to the court at his trial. Today's sentence puts an end to Bishop Whitehead's schemes and reflects that office committed to bring accountability to those who were abused those positions and trust. So Whitehead was also sentenced to 3 years of supervised release in order to pay $85,000 restitutions and forfeit $95,000 So that's a whole lot. So go ahead, I can play the clip, and after that, we're gonna chop it up.
9 years in prison for fraud. You may remember 2 years ago, Bishop Lamar Whitehead was robbed at gunpoint during Sunday service. He was convicted in March for wire fraud, extortion, and making false statements to federal law enforcement agents. Prosecutors say Bishop Whitehead stole thousands of dollars from his parishioners to buy luxury goods and sought to defraud and extort a businessman and commit loan fraud.
So the bishop, he ain't scamming no more in these streets no more. So go ahead, Hakeem. What's your take, man? I know you got a lot for him.
Celebration, huh? Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Celebration, come on. My God is a good God. For you to scam your own parishioners, God was working in my favors. We didn't ever do nothing to him. They got him. 9 years of your life, when you come back, you're going to be working at Jiffy Lube. Change your oil right where he deserved. Come on, people. I want everybody to know this to kids, men and women. It's not good to scam people. Please. It's going to come back to you. Karma's real. And some people can't handle being scammed. And we need to be careful on who you scamming.
Not that, but shout out to Next Level and shout out to Joe Don't Hurt Him. That's
Joe Don't Hurt Him.
Don't woo. Happy Father's Day. Also, Joe Don't Hurt Him and Next Level. If you guys are fathers, But Hakeem, I agree with you. When it comes on the bishop, Bishop got what was coming to him. You just don't scam your own congregation, and that's the problem with these prosperity preachers. I agree with the concept that God want to make you wealthy and want to keep you rich. However, you gotta do it the right way. Invest in businesses, help the community, and do what is right. Not by scamming your own congregation and then want people to pretty much pray for you on your way out of the situation. And this is the situation that we starting to see a trend going on. People love to prey on the less unfortunate and they don't be held accountable. Now they're starting to be held accountable. Now I'm happy to see that because now people start getting the point that okay, I need to start scamming my own people because it's starting to get real out here. It is starting to get real. However, I know Bishop and his team are going, his lower team are going to appeal this because 9 years in prison. I don't see the Bishop doing 9 years. I don't just see it. He won't. Hakeem and Jordan, he won't be able to survive in there. Let's just be honest. Especially if they find out what he did, he will not be able to survive in there. So I say his lower team gonna make sure to try to get him out to make sure he don't do 9 years, and, in state prison, especially in New York City, which is one of the roughest prisons. Ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen. Shout out to Eric Brown, that's also in the building. Go ahead,
Shout
Joe.
out to Eric Brown.
Shout out to Eric Brown. Man. See, this is one of the reasons why black men don't go to church no more, because stuff like this. All this scamming. A lot of scamming going around. Not just New York, it's a lot of scammer bishops around the United States and America, especially in black church and everything. And it's like I said, it's really good to see that he got what he got what he gotten of sending him to prison and everything. He needs to do that. He needs to do this time because we talked about him before. He's just a big time scammer and everything, scamming from the people that's lower than them, which I cannot stand that. I really cannot stand that. But yeah, man, Miss Bishop, man, you got to do the time. But I just feel, this is what I feel like. I feel like that he might get out early, 9 years. He might do 7 years maybe. And I feel like he's going to go to another city, maybe change his name, and do the same stuff that he always does because it's so profitable. It's easy for him to do. Maybe he'll do. Maybe he might not do it in America. Maybe he'll go to Canada. Maybe he'll go to Mexico. Maybe he'll go somewhere. But I personally feel like scammers like him, he's gonna get out probably early release, and he just ain't. And also just think about how the all the money that he made by scamming from the poor, and usually with him and his type of mindset, he's gonna get out of New York, maybe change his name or not, go to another city, maybe some city in somewhere higher in the West or the South somewhere, and he's gonna do the same thing again, and he's gonna come out of jail. It's like, yes, God told me that I did wrong. I prayed a lot. I prayed so much, and I will not do this again. And God told me to go out there and preach again and preach the right word. Preach the right word. And he might be saying that, but he's gonna say, I'm gonna preach to scam more people again. And I feel like he's gonna do that once he get out. That's my take on that.
Yeah, it is. When you gotta understand something. When Hakeem spoke about this before, the black community is so gullible. We let anybody in. We don't vet. We don't do research on the preacher. We just let them come in the community. It's pretty much like a sheep, and he could be a wolf, but he wearing sheep clothing. Come right in, and we accepted him with open arms, and we don't even ask questions. Majority of the time, people are afraid to speak up to the pastor when the pastor is doing wrong. Nobody say anything because Hakeem spoke about it before. How the pastor is the most honorable person in the community, which is true. They are. So people are afraid to speak up when they are doing wrong. And Bishop Whitehead is a prime example of that. How if you see that's going on within the community, you need to learn how to speak up. Shout out to She Rising Soul is in the building. Sophia Grace, go ahead.
So it's like, it's just reiterating what I reiterate. And I think we talk about this so many times. As people, we need to vet the people in our own community, just like we need to vet the people outside of our community. Because more and more, the money we have in our hands are being taken away from our hands due to just believing so easily on people, thinking the best of people, when we should be practicing discernment. Please be aware that all skin folk and kinfolk.
I like that.
Yep. thieves in the temple.
Yeah, it is. It is thieves in the temple. I think even in the scripture it talks about how Jesus was saying how there was robbers and thieves and within the temple, and this is supposed to be a house of prayer. But yeah, man, there's a pretty much a den of thieves that are robbing on people and then going in the presence of God, acting like things is okay when it's not. Sorry for Bishop Whitehead, but I know he won't survive in that Hakeem and Jordan. I'm telling you, he won't. That man would not survive in no prison, especially in New York. I don't see. No, I don't see so. Go ahead, Jordan. Moving forward.
All right, on to the next topic. This happened in Maryland. So a 23-year-old illegal immigrant has been arrested for the death of an SA assault of a Maryland mom. Suspect had illegal cross into the United States back last year from El Salvador after he reportedly killed another young woman. Let me read a little bit more details. So, in the case involving the murder of the Maryland mother of 5 who was found dead near a hiking trail back in August of 2023, the 23-year-old suspect has been located and arrested in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Back in August, the Maryland mom, her name is Rachel, was found dead on a popular hiking trail in Harford County, Maryland last year. Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez, that's the illegal immigrant, an undocumented immigrant from El Salvador, was arrested on Friday in connection to a crime. He has been charged with first-degree murder and SA. Hernandez has illegally crossed the border, last year of February of 2023, after murdering another young woman in El Salvador a month earlier in January. Law enforcement believe he hid in the drainage system. Oh wow, that's nasty. And attacking her while she was walking. Police were also able to link her murder to an assault and home invasion in Los Angeles that took place on March 26. Police found Hernandez based off a genetic genealogy lead that led him to the suspect. Detectives located Martinez Hernandez in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and arrested him at a bar Friday night. Officers said when they approached him, he tried to lie about who he was and the crimes that he accused of. So not only did he deleted a girl here in America, in Maryland, he also before he came to America, he also deleted a woman back in El Salvador. So he is a murderer. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that, we're gonna chop it up.
Was not his first victim, and it's my understanding that this suspect, this monster, fled to the United States illegally after committing the brutal murder of a young woman in El Salvador a month early in January of 2023. Once in our country, and likely emboldened by his anonymity, he brutally attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother during a home invasion in March of 2023 in Los Angeles. And as everyone I believe is aware, that was our first DNA match linking Rachel's case to the Los Angeles case. It has been a fear of mine that once we identified this suspect, the result would be exactly this. And I want to now direct these comments to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and to every member in both chambers of Congress. We are 1,800 miles away here in Harford County. We are 1,800 miles away from the southern border, and Rachel was not his first victim. And it's my understanding that this suspect, this monster, American citizens are not safe because of failed immigration policies. This is the second time in just 2 years that an innocent Harford County woman has lost her life to a criminal in our country illegally. Let me repeat that. 1,800 miles from the southern border, and this is the second woman in our county to be killed by an illegal alien. Suspects, in both cases, they are suspects from El Salvador with ties to criminal gangs. Should not be happening. Victor Hernandez did not come here to make a better life for himself or for his crime he committed in El Salvador. He came here and murdered Rachel, and God willing, no one else. But that should have never been allowed to happen. American citizens are
terrible.
Disgusting.
The policy is that immigration policy is trash.
Go ahead,
Trash.
Ronnie. Go ahead, Ronnie. Speak your take. Go ahead.
No, that was a shout out to Natasha Vincent. She said, "Bruh, Natasha, I didn't know you was hood."
I was like, I didn't know who you was just now, Natasha.
I didn't know Natasha was hood. When I saw her say, "Bruh," I was like, "Wow, where did that come from?" She got a little spice to her. I'm trying to tell you, we the quiet ones. They got the spice to them. No, but in all seriousness, the immigration policy in the United States is terrible. When you allow illegal immigrants to come over here illegally, and now that we're able to do crime and get away with it, that's a serious issue. That's been going on for a very long time, especially in New York City and Chicago, them two states, and now it's over there in that state as well, and another state, and there's going to be many more states like California, Florida, Georgia. The list is going to go on and on and on and on and on. That would say this presidential election is going to be very, very important because we got to figure out who's going to be the best candidate to be able to get this immigration policy under control, because you got people that's coming over here illegally and doing crime and making this community where we pretty much the United States where it's supposed to be safe, unsafe. Don't get me wrong, we have our own personal crime here as well, but you have now illegals coming over here and doing the same violent crime and trying to get away with it. It is a serious problem. You escape El Salvador because you had a serious offense. You come over here and do the same serious offense, thought you was gonna get away with it. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way whatsoever. And we need to change that soon and very swiftly. Don't get me wrong, not only that, there's some people that do cross the border that are illegal, but they do good in the community, that they're trying to get jobs, they're trying to help their family. I'm not talking about those folks. I'm talking about those people that's coming over here and doing something totally wrong within the community and harming especially women. I have a problem with that. Go ahead, Akeem.
As a person who loves this country, welcome to United States jail system. Hard time, chain gang, day for day. That's what I want. We need to protect our borders. The wall got to go up. I know a lot of people might not like him. Y'all hated on Trump. Biden's now saying the wall got to go up. You can't come in no more. He just already signed an executive order. He's blocking immigrants from coming in today. The Democrats lied to y'all again.
Biden said that the wall got to go up.
No. I'm just making a reference because you're just making a reference, just satire. But he did sign an executive order to slow down immigration into the states. So
what now? Biden?
Yeah, Biden. Yeah. He said there's plenty. C. Rising Soul said we have plenty of domestic terror going on. Their rage. What about the UT man in Michigan who shot a nine at a splash pad in Michigan this weekend?
We're gonna talk about that a little bit.
We're gonna talk about that. He said these people need to watch out. If they think the U.S. has a problem destroying their ass, they can smoke that Cali blood. Tell them, Eric Brown. The immigrants don't know. You're gonna learn about U.S. jail system. You're gonna learn about these police officers and these highways patrol. They do not like people coming here messing with us. Trust and believe.
And shout out to Why High that's also in the building. Go ahead.
That's true, Akeem. We need, like I said, when it comes to illegal immigrants, and the thing is, it's like, it's really, you hear about all this people that's killing. We talk about another topic about this New York. I don't know, earlier this year, I believe, when an illegal immigrant killed a documented immigrant back in New York City and everything. And all these killers, they coming from, not from Mexico, they coming from, South America, El Salvador. I know it's not South America, Central America as well and everything. I feel like, you know, some of these illegal immigrants, they come over here, they can do what they want to do. They're gonna get, you know, they gonna get their money, you know, be free, and you know, and they feel like if they can delete people back home, you know, they can. It's easier to delete somebody back in the United States because they feel like, you know, they're not documented there in the United States, so they feel like this might be a little bit more free of deleting somebody and they don't know who they is because they don't have any documents or license or anything and something like that. But yeah, man, this is tragic, you know, just to see something like that. You know, my prayers go out to the mother's family, especially the children, man, because that's very, very sad to hear, to see an immigrant, you know, come to the country, and you know, and not just, you know, delete her, had deleted somebody before he came to the country as well, which is very, very sad and everything. So yeah, like I said, our immigration laws needs to be strictened, more stricken, to, you know, to not let, you know, some of these people, like, I don't know, you got the background checks, whatever, you know, just make sure, you know, immigration laws be a little bit more stricter, so you won't hear this stuff again, because, you know, it's I'm not saying it's not a big problem yet, but it could become a problem if you keep seeing this stuff like this, and keep accepting, you know, a lot of illegal immigrants feel like they could do what they want, and, you know, if they got to delete somebody, they'll do that. They'll delete that person in America and everything. So yeah, better immigration laws, and, you know, hopefully get better in the future.
No, but I was saying this is a disclaimer, because not every person that cross the border are evil or trying to do crime. Some people are trying to have a better living and a better tomorrow. So that's why they come over here to the United States, because they see it as the United States a way of opportunity. I would say in Canada, not everybody can cross that border. I've been telling you that for a very long time. Canada, you know how hard it is to cross the border in Canada?
Natasha, Natasha, how strict y'all laws is with immigrants?
Oh boy, Canada do not play. You know what I'm saying? And then the United States just let everybody come over here freely. I get it, but at some point it has to change. People don't talk about the situation that's going on in Canada about them not allowing illegals going over there. When they come to the United States, everybody say, "Oh, everybody's welcome," because the United States built on immigrants.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate you. Thank you.
And shout out to the lovely Stephanie Watkins. I saw in the building. Love your new style. I love her new style.
New style ain't the word. Ooh, yeah. Child.
Pretty boy, Stephanie, I know your DM is hot. It's a hot commodity. That thing was. She got that new style. She don't know how to act out here. Pretty I'm like, what?
Driving me wild.
Well, she killing out here. She killing the game. But Canada, they do not play when it comes to their immigration policy. They do not. Canada and also other parts of the world, they do. They will shut your behind back. No, you cross that border, they're gonna send you right back. Real talk. And she said her DM still dry as the desert.
Stop lying. Stop lying. You need a crowbar to be taking and getting them off you, baby.
Cap.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I did tell a lot of niggas they had to talk to me first before they could holler at you, though.
You ain't see the comment. You ain't see them views in the comment. They got the you know, got the emoji with the hearts eyes. I forgot what they call it. They're like wow, and then she like, oh no.
They're not scared of you, man. I told you they had to come talk to me, Papa Puff. I say you gotta go. I gotta vet discernment.
Shout out to Mr. Muhammad, who's also in the building. No, but it is. But I see United States becoming like Canada very, very soon. They're not gonna be letting everybody crossing our border. I promise you on that. We're gonna become that nation, like Canada. Like, you're not gonna come over here. They're like, nope. They're gonna send you behind right back. But people always have an issue. Why United States gotta send people back? But I'm like, Rush and them other countries, they've been doing it. They've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Brazil. So, like, Colombia, they will send you behind back wherever you from, unless they find you to be very beneficial. If you bring it on benefit to the society. And look at Ashton Williams. You see how Ashton Williams put the heart. Stephanie, you talking about your DM dry? BS. BS. Well, go ahead, Jordan. moving forward. Of course, happy Father's Day to you, Mr. Muhammad, as well.
Happy Father's Day to you, sir. Happy Father's
Happy
Day.
Father's Day to Muhammad.
Sir. All right,
Go ahead.
on to the next topic. Now, this topic is going to be interesting because I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say, and I definitely want to hear what the comments have to say as well, because this might be serious. So, the House, a representative passed the defense bill of automatically bringing the military draft back again for men aged 18 to 26. So the measure was passed on Friday for registering men aged 18 to 26 for selective service. It was a part of the annual National Defense Organization Act, which sets out the U.S. government military and national security priorities over the next fiscal year. This year, the NDAA authorized $895.2 billion in military spending, and a $9 billion increase from 2024. While it hasn't been invoked in over half a century, it's mandatory for all male U.S. citizens to register for the selective draft, also known as the military draft, when they turn 18. Failure to register is classified as a felony and comes with a host of legal challenges. Supporters of the amendment argued that it would cut down red tape and help U.S. citizens avoid unnecessary legal issues, as well as cutting down the taxpayer dollars going towards prosecuting those cases. By using available federal databases, the agency will be able to register all the individuals required and thus help ensure that any future military draft is fair and equitable. This will also allow us to resources, basically that means money towards readiness and towards mobilization, rather than towards education and advertising campaigns driven to register people. The NDAA also includes the largest ever military pay raise in history, with a 19.5% increase for junior enlisted troops and a 4.5% increase for others. So like I said, the House passed it. It's still got to be passed in the Senate, and then if it does get passed in the Senate, it's going to be signed by the president. So it may happen. It looks like it might happen. It may not happen. But we do have a clip for you guys to go in a little bit more detail. And after that, we're going to chop it up. Go ahead, Akeem.
An age-old issue is re-emerging, whether the U.S. should have a military draft. This report from the Washington Post just days ago claiming some in former President Trump's camp specifically are considering bringing back the draft. Now, Trump has since called mandatory military service a ridiculous idea, sharing that the story was a failed attempt to damage him with voters, saying he's, quote, never even thought of that idea. Well, at this point, it has been more than 50 years since anyone has been drafted into the U.S. military. Currently, about 1.3 million people, that is less than 1% of the population, serves in the armed forces. Recruiting Americans to join the military has been tough in recent years. This year represents the smallest active duty force since 1940. And just last year, the military services fell short of the Pentagon's recruiting goal by about 41,000. Now, officials at the Department of Defense say recruiting challenges are, quote, complex and multifaceted. Here to provide more insight is NewsNation national security contributor Lieutenant General Richard Newton, a former U.S. Air Force Assistant Vice Chief of Staff who spent more than 3 decades in the military. Happy Father's Day. Thanks for making the time for us today.
Thank you, Natasha. Always great to be with you, and happy Father's Day to everyone going out there. Thank you.
How concerning is it this year representing the smallest active duty force since 1940? I mean, have the threats to our nation decreased?
Well, no, I think the global picture, and you and I've talked about this many times, I've never seen, certainly in my 30 plus years on active duty and the 10 years hence, that more of what I would call a chaotic global picture with Ukraine and Russia, Israel being attacked brutally by Hamas back on October 7th, and of course, China growing in their military capabilities, and not necessarily just in the Asia-Pacific region, but around the world. So it's a very challenging time, but nonetheless, as you indicated, we haven't had a draft since 1973. We have fell short. We fell short of our recruiting goals in 2023. My sources tell me for 2024, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, and the Space Force it's likely they're going to meet their recruiting goals. The Navy's going to fall short about 6,000, but nonetheless, it is a national security issue that we are not meeting our recruiting goals, and it's going to have an impact on our military, not only for today, Natasha, but for many years to come.
What does the impact actually look like? Because we hear this a lot, that recruitment is a struggle, that thousands of people short in different arms here. What does it actually mean and look like on the ground?
Well, first and foremost, I want our viewers to understand, and certainly the American people, we still have the absolute best military in the world. We have certainly very capable technology and weapon systems and so forth. But Natasha, what makes our military great and far better than any other military in the world is our men and women, all volunteers. You had up on the screen there, it said 1.3 million men and women serve in military. Actually, that's active duty. You've got another about 700,000. Part of those are in our National Guard and also in our reserve forces, and their service is just as important as those who serve on active duty. But the fact that we fell short last year will have a ripple effect through the years. When I testified in Congress, both in the House and Senate, I mentioned every time I testified, at least was asked, that we should not take our recruiting of our young men and women for granted at all. Just as important with recruiting, it's retaining the people we have to make sure that they've got the skills, make sure that they've got the systems and the weapons that they want to train on to be able to hone their skills, but also to make sure they're paid appropriately and effectively, but also that we really do a lot of due diligence to take care of their family members as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just the fact that we're falling short in terms of recruiting and getting access to youngsters wanting to join the military, but it's a multifaceted challenge that we're facing right now.
One more question for you. What do you make of this Washington Post report saying that some in Trump's camp are considering bringing back the draft? I know that Mr. Trump has since said, no, this is not true. I've never even thought of this idea. Is it an idea that you would support?
It's not. Serving in the military, volunteering especially to serve in the military, it's a privilege. My dad served, I served, and we have our son-in-law serving in Air Force Special Operations and so forth. It is a privilege for men and women to volunteer and to serve their nation. As President Trump, his response to that was that's a ridiculous thought, and it is. I think we should continue to rely on those who volunteer.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe.
And I do want to also read. There's another article I found. This was 6 months ago, and it talks about how the U.S. military see record lows of recruitment numbers for this year. And it said this was going to be the smallest active duty force since 1940. They said military services missed recruiting goals by 41,000 during the year of 2023. The shortest hits from the Army, Navy, and the Air Force. The Marine Corps and Space Force meets its recruiting goals. So the Army, Navy, and Air Force, their recruiting numbers are low, but Space Force and Marine Corps, they still say the same. Officials want young people to enlist. The DOD reports that only 23% of young people between 17 and 24 qualify to join the military but even fewer have interest in joining. They say the DOD lists the following that contributes to recruiting challenges. I'm gonna read a couple of them, and then we'll chop it up. So it said a strong economy, which has resulted in many more options for young people, a smaller eligibility population. It said also Generation Z, the generation born from 1997 to 2012. Generally has a low trust in institution. Also, the Generation Z has discretionally followed traditional life and career paths. And one more, young people have fewer family members who serve, which decreases the point to serve for your country. So those are a couple lists of why people are not getting one recruit to go to the military. So, but that being said, let's go chop it up, man. Go ahead, Akeem. What's your take on it?
It's difficult, man. Ronnie knows. I got two brothers. One served in the Army. The other one's still actively in the Navy, and he lives in D.C. My sister-in-law was in the Army, then she was in the reserves. So like I come from a family that are civil servants. My sister's a lieutenant. So and I know I view the country a little bit differently. Like this is the country. I believe.
Thing link to Stephanie, because she want to jump in because because her parents in the military, so she has
Okay.
some
Oh yeah. So go, definitely. Hold on. Put that out there.
Mhm.
So you know, for me, like I'm trying, and you know, this is my problem. I'm trying to be careful what I say, but I believe you should go out there and die. I want you to go out there and die for this country. We're too privileged. Certain countries that you don't have a choice. Russia, you automatically going to war. Ethiopia, you automatically going to war. Somalia, you automatically going to war. I want to still be able to eat baguettes and donuts in the morning. Let's get some of the drillers off the street.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Hey,
Yeah, we
y'all.
can.
I would turn my
Hey.
mic on. I would turn my mic on, but I'm at work, so I'm whispering.
Hard working woman.
But okay, so what do y'all think about like the awareness and the consciousness that folks are starting to have when it comes to the government? And it's like a twofold, right? Like we see how veterans are being treated, and how they've been treated and been neglected. I think that plays a role in folks not wanting to get into the military. Like my dad served in the military for 30 plus years, and
Tell
my
him
guy.
thank you for his service.
I will. I was about to diminish everything he does. That nigga didn't do nothing but cut hair. But anyway, I ain't gonna stall him out. But
Yeah.
after he did his time though, like he's a security guard. And like when we look at the fallback jobs for a lot of these men and women who are in the military, the VA doesn't really set them up for civilian living. That's number one. But then like also too, like consider reasons or the people who were joining. So like when we look at white America and these white men and women who are joining, the line for patriotism and all this great stuff, like their population is slowly diminishing, which is why we have a lot of these anti-abortion bills going on. But then when you look at folks of color who join, like, and I can only speak to my dad's experience, like join the military because there were no other financial gains for him in that, you know what I mean? In that time. So like the military was an out for him. I don't think that's the case for our kids anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case for folks of color anymore. So we really got to look at, I just think, like, what do we benefit from really joining the military? And I think like what you said, Hakeem, is like you have to put your life on the line. Like if you're a woman or if you're a parent, you can't have guardianship of your kids. You sign your rights over as a parent. So it's like, what do I win? What do I gain from this other than good scholarships, a home, and dental, like good health care? Like, yeah, I don't think it should. I don't know. Like I was like, put the immigrants, like have them serve in the military since we running low already. But even that sketch.
But I also want to tell people too, even if they was to do a draft, you still have to pass their physical and mental capability. It's not just you just not just getting passed over. If you got bad hearing, your vision ain't good, and they draft you, they might put you on the desk or something.
And you still got to do the ASVAB test.
You got to do that.
And a lot of people really can't pass the ASVAB test either. So.
Yeah. And you got to be, I remember, like you got to pass the ASVAB test, and you got to be a certain weight for like your height and your weight got to be a certain, you know what I mean? Like and I only know because my height, I'm 4'11", so like they're like you need to be a certain, I had to weigh like at the time it was like 120 something. But like when you think about the kids, like think about our kids and now. Their social skills, their physical ability, like our kids are nowhere near as active as what we were. Yeah.
No, but let me ask you this, and let's be honest about this. You said something real pivotal that I think goes over a lot of people's head. Black people are making a lot more money now than they ever been. There's many ways. So you did say something too. Look at Kai Cenat. A lot of these young guys are streamers now. A lot of these guys are flipping, doing Toro, Airbnb. The typical 18, 17-year-old are getting money now.
Yeah, they're like multimillionaires.
Multimillionaires.
Yeah.
So for them to say we're going to shoot a AK-47 or a Kalashnikov or an M16, they're not thinking about that. But I still feel you got to die for this country.
If you're willing to join the military, that has to be on the line.
I wish I was 20 right now. Yeah. I'm ready to die.
Yeah. And then you know what else, King? Like, number one, I appreciate your love for the country, but I feel like, and I'm just gonna speak for myself, I feel like our country's flag is the only flag that is a reminder of hate, and like with that reminder of hate, it's hard for me to be like, you know, I'm willing to put my life on put my life on the line for America, because America has not taken care of people who look like me. And I think that's another thing, like until America really comes to the reckoning of what they've done, you know what I mean, to certain communities, I don't see too many of us like laying down for them. That's just my opinion.
There's blood on every country's hand.
I agree.
And mind you, when I say this is a volunteer position, you have no choice in other countries. I'm telling you this. Yes, we got issues here. We still trying to fix it. And let me tell you something. Black people have an invested interest in this country. You have an invested. You built this shit for free for niggas like me who come here and enjoy it and drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee all day.
That's you right, Hakeem, on that.
You see what I'm saying? I'm talking some G shit. I didn't build this country. I'm Haitian. I got a place I call my ancestry home. My granddaddy got 100 acres back there. But I'm just saying, for the folks here who built this, so all these foreigners can come here, use affirmative action to they getting deals in this. No, this your country. So y'all have already been dying for this country. And bleeding. Let's not forget the Tuskegee Airmen and the Boricuas. The Boricuas who was in the army, who joined, they thought they were N-words too, but they were black Boricuas who was died in World War II and all that. So I'm saying, Haiti's a third world country. I want to be Baby Sugar. I'm proud to be there, and I'm willing to go there and eat rice with my hand. Give a fuck what you talking about.
Yeah, I would. If you got to know the history of Haiti, is a beautiful and a powerful place. Like, let's keep it a buck.
So my patriotism, and meaning that because I've been awarded so much, I say, hey, and listen, we have nephews here that we convinced him to go to the army. My brother served. My sister-in-law, my brother met his wife in there, and this is how I feel. But I do understand. There's blood on everybody's hand, and I guess it's subjective at times. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I want to say this too.
Is that my guy, Chicago Rilla?
He's in there.
Happy Father's Day.
And the thing is about this too, you know, you looking at our I'll say our generation and our new generation and everything. You know, I saw this too back in the silent generation. And the baby boomer generation, when they went to school, you know, they had like very, very strong PE classes where they had to, you know, they were very, very physical back then at the time. Now, you know, in 2024, you know, a lot of kids are not physical, you know, like they used to be back in the day and everything. And a lot of these kids, you know, they have more options of not looking at the military because, you know, there's so much stuff that we can make money off, especially, you know, with the online, with the internet, especially with the YouTube and social media and everything. And so when these kids look at the military and everything, it never crossed their mind that they will join or get into war like that. Or if we actually start a war with somebody, let's say Russia, you know, Russia is our #1 enemy or something like that. So let's say we start a war with Russia or something like that. How are these generations going to act, you know, when we have war or something like that? I don't know how they're going to act. So for me, I feel like it's a little bit more troubling and everything, but you know, we'll just see if it's going to get passed or not when it passes the Senate. And if it passes the Senate, it's going to get signed by the president. Go ahead, Chicago Rilla, man. How you doing? Oh, he left.
I think he lost connection.
Yeah. Thank you, C. Riser. So physical is optional now. Exactly. Usually back then it wasn't optional. You had to do it, and you had to be physically fit.
Yeah, when it comes to the aspect of the military, I don't really speak on it too much because I don't really know too much depth on the aspect of on the military. I just go by listening to other people experience about the military. I know right now the military is not really giving out good benefits at the moment. I think I heard Mr. Logic talked about it on another podcast show. I think on a panel, I heard him talk about the benefit now is not as much. I think they got rid of the pension. They got rid of something. And I think that what her in the military right now, like a lot of people not going in the military, but I could be wrong. But to me, I think young men, I think everybody should have some form of training in the military because other countries are doing it. I always speak up the Jews. Jews are training their people to prepare themselves for any time's war. China do the same thing. Russia does the same thing. Other country does it. Colombia does it. They train their people to be physically equipped just in case something happened. Like the people already know, okay, it's time for us to get the gun. It's time for us to get busy. United States is the only nation that the people seem like they're very lazy when it comes to protecting their own, not only that protecting their nation. So I think we all should have training and some form of military on how to use weapons. I know people go gun training, but to me, we need more training because right now, if people not trying to join the military, then we ourselves need to learn how to protect our own. We need to start protecting our own. So I think we all should have military training, or even if it's not us, our future generation, so they be able to protect themselves just in case of any future threats. Because I had a friend of mine who did want to come on the podcast to talk about like the coming war, but I'm very careful when it comes to war topics, especially on YouTube, because they tend to censor your channel a lot. So that's why I chose not to touch on that type of subject. However, I think we all should have military training. I think Canada is another country that's doing it as well. They training their people to prepare themselves just in case something else happens. Now that, shout out to the lovely Jalen that's also in the building, as
Pretty
well.
brown, driving me wild.
So, I don't, Chicago Bears having issues.
I want
So
to
I
say
don't
this
know.
too. I want to
Go
say
ahead.
this too. And the thing is like with military. How I'm looking at it now, it's so different because, like I said, we invest so much money into the war, into military, into wars and everything. And it looks like now we're using drones to go over we use a lot of drones now. We're in the generation that we use a lot of drones and stuff. So I feel like now that we'll be more computerized when it comes to wars, and we might be using drones. You might be using AI now. It's just a lot of stuff that the government has invested into the military that we don't know about with a lot of AI stuff and everything because we invest. That's probably the number one thing we invest more out of anything is to the military war and everything. So I'm pretty sure with that, with AI coming out and all these drones and everything, I feel like we'll be okay. But the thing is, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% don't know. But there's so much money we invested in it. That's what it looking like.
No, but you gotta understand something, Jordan, too. We live in a society today. I always tell people, people don't want war anymore. People are tired of the wars. They don't want it. Back in the days, I understand why people did war because they wanted to conquer some form of territory. But people don't want to have war anymore. You see, people are quick to protest and say we don't want it, stay away from it. Because the war situation, people, their generation is changing. It's really changing. They're not all
But
about like destroying and deleting. They're not about that anymore. They're really
But
not.
thing is, things right. It's always gonna be wars in the future. It's always gonna be wars. I don't know why the generation think like that. It's always gonna be wars somewhere in the
Yeah,
future.
but I think the war that's coming, I don't think it's gonna be more physical. I think it's gonna be more technology type wars. I think it's
Right.
gonna be more on cyber wars and stuff like that. But like physically, people doing wars, people are tired of that. People are tired of that. And as the generation continue to increase and new generation, new kids starting coming, they starting to see what war is all about and all of the deletion of people and people losing limbs and losing arms. It's just a different generation. Shout out to Big Mustafa that was also in the building as well. Why Sugar Bump going in on you, Hakeem? I don't know. She calling you very hypocritical. I think she's just trolling like always.
So she could call me hypocritical, but my family has served for this country more than yours.
Mine has too. I had a cousin. He been in the Marines for 20 years. He's retired, and I have a cousin right now. He's in the Army. He's been in there, and he's the one that just got married, and he's been in the Army for like 6 years now. And so, and then I had a little cousin. He was in the military. He was in there for like a few years, and he got out and everything. So I do have family who serve their country and everything, and I have no problem with that. If you want to serve your country, you really to die for this country, I'm with it.
I feel like I'm just gonna say this really quick, and it's reckless, but do you remember back in the day where they had that like "Don't Say Gay" bill, and they were not allowing these gay individuals or LGBTQ AI plus individuals to join the military? I bet you now they're probably going to be reconsidering, and they've already have. But it's just wild. Like this is where we are now. Like this is the direction that we're going in when we're starting to be. It seems like they're desperate, and I could see them adding up like some of the motivation to get folks to join. But I'm just interested in like what would that even look like?
That way you get them while they're young, like China do. China get them while they're young. I keep telling people, get them while they're young, teach them. Then you don't have to worry about, oh, if something happened, we need to do a draft. They already ready, already equipped, ready to go.
Yeah.
And Russia, they always.
I think China do it too.
Russia,
yeah, they do. China's very heavy on that. That was it. Get them while they're young. People go against that. I say, nope, get them while they're young, because then just in case something happens, them kids are ready to go and they're ready to destroy. Trust me. China do not play. That's why people don't want war with China. China and also India, they don't want war with them people, because them people, they ready to go anytime, any day, anytime. They do not want it. Go ahead, Chicago Rilla. I don't know if you have technical issues.
Oh, he said he had to switch
to. Yeah, can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I hope I'm not dragging. I'm about this music outside, so I'm hoping it's not too loud. Let me say my position on this off top, right? So I agree with Hakeem. Not that everybody needs to die, but everybody needs to serve the country. Everybody. And listen, I can make the argument on multiple. It's gonna sound funny when I say this, if y'all allow me time. My position is, we're in this country. This is our country. I identify as a black man, but I also know I'm American, right? Therefore, we should defend this country. I really honestly wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I want to travel to other places. I want to visit other places. I want to take in their culture and everything like that, but I don't want to live there. Okay, so let's be clear on that, right? Now, here's the other thing, because Sugar Bum said it perfect. This is one of the times I don't even think she trolling. She said what she was hearing sounds really anti-American. What she said, y'all so anti-American. The idea that we wouldn't fight for this country, that our ancestors toiled, slaved, worked for, and listen, all the issues that we have, all the struggles that we continue to have to this day, is all the more reason why you protect this. Because guess what? If our military fails and Russia comes here or Korea comes here, what you think gonna happen then? You know what I'm saying? Like, who do we think is supposed to protect the country? Right? Even to buffer my point more, it's windy out here too, but the cicadas are finally disappearing. When I graduated high school, I decided to take a year off. It was the longest year ever in the history of mankind, because I never went back. But when I graduated, I enlisted for the Marines, because I said, if I'm gonna go, then and at that time I'm young, I'm trying to find myself as a man. I'm gonna go for the toughest branch. You know what I'm saying, right? So I enlisted for the Marines, and and I got DQ'd because I have eczema. Like, eczema is in my, it runs in my family. But when you go, you got to have a clean bill of, well, back then, you had to have a complete clean bill of health. And then I was like, okay, well, I could take, I got some cream for it. So they was like, yeah, when it clears up, just come back. And I just never came back, right? But I think it's honorable to serve. Now, the part that, she left, Steph.
No, she's at work. She's at work.
Okay. Yeah, because she was, the point that she was making about how we treat our veterans, I 100,000% agree with that too. But I also know that there are The more I talk to veterans, like you talk to a Fantastic, you talk to Shannon Rawls, you talk to Edaman, you talk to AFR, right? You talk to a lot. Who else? Red Pill Rangers in this space. You talk to a lot of cats. They taking full advantage of the benefits that's afforded to them, right? So that's a separate conversation in and of itself. None of that absolves any of us from protecting this country. And my last point, this is gonna sound real misogynistic, but it's not. Men are supposed to defend this country. War is for men.
Thank you.
So, you know, and I hope Steph hearing me with all due respect, but you hear how like the reservation in her voice, like, you know, how this gonna work, who's gonna, it doesn't, we supposed to defend this country. War is for men. War is for men, right? And so then when we have these conversations about women's equality, nah, don't back out now. We equal. You want to be at the table. This is where the big boy sits. So, you know, I diverge from opinions with Hakeem when he said, yeah, y'all need to die for this. I think we need to serve this country and protect this country, because without the freedoms, we don't enjoy these freedoms without somebody sacrificing for it. And we've done a terrible job again. And I'll go on mute after this, family. Generation X has done a terrible job of passing down traditions and values to our seeds, to the degree that they have to understand that the rights and freedoms that we enjoy, those have to be protected. You think Russia don't want Russia? All these other countries, we've been top dog for what, a century, almost a century?
Yep.
Okay, so you think these other nations ain't chopping at the bit, waiting for the great American dynasty to fall? They wait. So then, if nobody is supposed to defend the country, nobody wants to volunteer. You know, nobody wants. Like when they announced this, dog, I wasn't the least bit moved. You know what I mean? It's selective service. You know. Anyway, I saw Amanda Seals do a whole spiel on it, like they're not automatically registering you to vote. Well, you won't have the opportunity to vote if Russia invades the country. You won't have the opportunity to vote if China invades the country. Go ahead, Hakeem. My bad, bro.
Yeah. No, brother. Chicago, remember, for you to go to college, you had to sign up for the selective service to get financial aid. So I think that people forget about that.
Yeah. So right now, what is it? 18 to 26. Yeah. So you know, I got one son that's out of that range, right? You know, I got two more that's within that range. Shoot, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. They mama gonna cry, because then it's like, well, see, and that's another thing Steph said. Well, who's gonna be here with the mama? Her husband.
Yep.
That's who's supposed to be with the mama. The boys who have the legs and the energy, those are the ones that's supposed to be at war. The men who are enlisted long-term military, those are the ones who plot, plan, and strategize. I have a daughter. She's enlisted in the Air Force. She's in intelligence. Okay, so she potentially may never see a battlefield, but you know, if she did, I asked her before she enrolled and before she enlisted. I said, "Are you sure this is what you want?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay," but she was thinking more from the benefit side, which she's enjoying that, right? But I don't, you know, if we don't protect what's ours, I put it to you like this. Me and my wife just moved into a new house. It's a very nice house. I like the house. It's a lot of freedoms that I have in the house. Okay, if an intruder come, who's gonna protect my house?
Facts.
If I don't protect my house, then I'm subject to allow anything and anyone to come in there and do whatever they want. No, like I know I keep saying this, y'all. Don't hate me. Last point. This is the attitude that we have about joining the police. Then we get mad when the police are doing us wrong in our neighborhood. If you got your butt in there and enlisted and became a policeman, then you'd have the sensibility and sensitivity and understand the nuances of police in our community. So we shouldn't be telling people, no, don't become law enforcement because, you know, F them pigs, F the police. Now I'm a homeowner now. I got stuff at stake, man. Yeah, no, I love the police. Where can I get my donation? You know what I'm saying? To support their efforts. No, our young men need structure, they need discipline, and they need to learn and understand and know what it is to sacrifice. And now I'm going on mute.
Yo, shout out to Thanos.
Say it again.
I say shout outs to Thanos.
Oh, Thanos? I don't even see him. Or on Instagram.
Yeah. He's watching from the clouds. You know, he served in the service too. Logic, all the shout outs to them brothers.
Oh
out to
yeah,
them
yeah,
brothers.
That was saying they serve in the military, but I would say it's very important to train the little ones as kids to learn how to serve and protect. Do military in the beginning while they're young, so when they get older, they already have the mental capability to 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 protect and serve. I think that should be one of the United States. They should adapt that concept like Russia and China and the other country do. I'm telling you, that will be very beneficial to the United States. And not only that, but C. Ryan Soul said something that I truly agree with her as well. That's why they're allowing a lot of illegal immigrants to come into this nation because they're gonna put them in the military. That's what they're gonna do.
I don't
A
know.
lot of these young, a lot of these young kids, they're gonna put them in the military. I'm telling you,
You'd
Chicago
have to
Real. I'm
make
telling
them. You'd have to make. So here's the disconnect that America has. Just on the other opposite. Shout out to Eric Brown. I see you, fam. I hear you. But you know, it's a conversation, and I'm rushing my thoughts out. So you know, kind of is what it is with me being all over the place. But those immigrants, they would have to make them natural citizens. I don't see any scenario. But you know, anything could happen, right? Anything is plausible, but is you know, anything is possible, but you know, the probability of it happening, I just don't see it. But the immigrants, they'd have to make them citizens first, and before they, you know, enlist them and send them to war. But I don't put that past them.
but Chicago, I agree. I think they're gonna make them citizens.
Well, shoot, I don't know. I don't know what the play is right now. I know they putting them to work, so I don't disagree with that.
Sophia, she said read the bill on Chicago Real. She says in the bill. What bill is it? She rising soul. Sophia, what bill is it?
Oh,
Cause I want to look in.
that's Sophia. Wait, what's in the bill, Sophia?
That the immigrants are gonna be allowed to be enlisted in the military.
I mean, they very well may, man. They giving them housing and all this other stuff. I'm saying I don't see it, but you know, listen, and again, you know me when I come on here, fam. This speaks to voter apathy. So you guys don't want to vote. You want to protest the country, but you protested in the wrong way. You let your apathy lull you to sleep, and you think getting out here with some picket signs and marching and walking up and down the street, yelling and screaming with bullhorns is effective something. Them people will let you walk till you go to sleep. They don't care. You can walk yourself off the Grand Canyon cliff. They don't care. You're not moving nothing. You're not affecting nothing.
Talk about
You're not
it,
affecting
really?
a god doggone thing with your 1960 toolkit for 2024. You understand what I'm saying?
She said it's called selective service.
That's correct. Okay. So you mean they're selecting anybody?
Yeah.
The one they're discussing now is all men, citizen or not. Oh, I'll have to read that, Sophia. I have to read that.
Me too.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I don't know if you know this, Chicago, and this only know this because I have somebody in my family. When you join the military, they do offer you a path to citizenship after you finish serving.
Now that makes sense. Now that I can see.
Yeah. No. My brother served, and you know, I mean, he was.
Yeah.
He was born
that
in the.
I can see because remember during the Civil War, if you fled to the North, they offered you freedom in the North when you served on the Union Army. So I can see that. Yeah. Shout out to Jordan.
Why you say Jordan?
Don't let her throw up on you, dog.
Because you got the baby.
Oh, there you go. The R&B band.
What up, big dog?
Bro, we've been asking. You've been ghost. I was looking. I said, "Where my dog at? He's been ghost."
Yeah, I got to step away from nonsense every once in a while. But like, if you ain't talking about nothing, I ain't pulling up no more. And then, and plus, I want another contract, so I'm doing more stuff outside. So I don't have the time like I used to. But I love the conversation. Shout out to Rilla. You know what I'm saying? You
peace,
you
God,
Ryan. You know, Prince Hot. You feel me, Jordan? So about your point with the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut it.
No, you good. We telling you to go.
You are expert here.
So you can join the military without having without being nationalized. A lot of people come from Panama and DR and some of these other places. So you can join because it take about like 10 years or more before you can even apply for citizenship. So, but you can join the military. Also, we have a fiat based currency. Our dollar will never be upended. BRICS is cool and all that. It's good to see them getting together, doing some things out in them other countries. But when you got the strongest military is backing your money, and you got other countries who look for our protection, it won't be no overall drop the dollar. If we would have to completely fall, and that's only going to happen inside out. No one has a military platform to invade this country. It's too much in the way for you to even get here. Russia doesn't even have the logistics to handle Ukraine. So the last thing you ever have to worry about is Russian invasion and all that. That's why you always hear the nuke talk, because that's all they really have. Which is why you don't see countries messing with Pakistan and India, because those are also nuclear countries. So you won't see invasions of certain countries like that, because it's usually going to end up in the end game. But yeah, I'm loving this conversation. So, continue, and I jump in where I can though. But yeah, I like this.
No, but what about the aspect of the idea again? China idea by raising young kids to in the military. Do you agree with the idea?
Yeah, I believe
United
in
States?
conscription. I'm gonna have both my sons. They don't have to go active, but they will serve some form of National Guard or reserves. Every situation ain't perfect, but I think you can gain a lot of stuff from the team building. You're gonna have your problems like anywhere else in life, but the benefits a lot of the times, and I'm not talking about the money, come down the road. You may not see it in the beginning, which is what a lot of young people have trouble with, is that you're asking them or telling them to do something, but they don't see the reason why you're asking until they gain wisdom and experience. A lot of stuff I didn't listen to, but when I got older, now I understand what mom was saying. I understand what dad was saying. You know what I'm saying? So you allow yourself to make smart choices to still be alive when you get older, and you will realize a lot of the stuff that you were told was making sense. It wasn't them just telling you just because. But conscription, especially for a country, is always good, because I think you'll appreciate your country better, because technically you're kind of responsible for upkeeping peace and doing your part in the military. But most people not seeing combat or on the front lines. We have a massive infantry and a lot of special forces and things like that, to where everybody physically couldn't be. It's not like the Romans and everybody's just lined up. Yeah, it's not that type of situation. So when I hear people say, "Oh, I don't want my child to," well, depending on what they're doing, you don't have to. They're not going to be close enough for something like that to happen, unless it's like an insider threat, and that's usually next level stuff where a lot of lax security allowed certain people to get in and things like that.
Thanos, do you think so where they have the age, my bad, Ronnie, but just really quick, with the age gap, the age range of 18 to 26, do you think that's fair? Do you think it should be selective service enacted, especially since the numbers
Dr. Chicago took my question.
Oh, my bad.
I was just about to ask him. I was just about to ask him that. Me, the great mind think alike. But go ahead. You got
yeah, it. I think as soon as you graduate high school, I think you should do at least 2 years in the military. Just do your part.
That's fair.
You got first world countries like Germany,
I agree with
Israel that does conscription, where you have to serve a certain amount of time. You can stay in or you can get out, but I think it benefits and makes you a patriot. It makes you appreciate your country.
I think Singapore does that too.
Yeah, because most of the problem with America is entitlement. Everybody thinks they're entitled to everything without putting no work in, without sacrificing, without doing anything. So
again, Thanos, it's like I was saying, these freedoms that we have, and this is why people are so quick to disrespect our ancestors, right? The people who really went to bat for something, laid down their lives. You think El-Hajj Malik Shabazz didn't know in that Abadan ballroom that was his last day? He knew they was coming for him. I don't think he knew on the balcony of that Lorraine Motel, but you understand what I'm saying? they knew what they were getting into, and they knew their end wasn't going to be a pleasant one, and yet they still laid down so that we can have these rights and freedoms. And not, I mean, I ain't even the military alone. The people that go over there and serve. My uncle was in the Navy, right? Mm-hmm. My uncle, he retired. He still works, but he retired with full benefits. My aunt is a contractor too for the government, right? But they enjoy full benefits. If we don't have people serving, just take the benefits out of it. How about the benefit of living in a free country, fam? How about when we talk about freedom of speech, we have these debates, these quote unquote debates on these pissy panels about DNP conversations, right? Can you imagine having these? And I know you lay down the law in terms of what the probability of anybody invading this country, what that looks like. So I'm glad you said that. But my point is still, if no one is here to protect the country, right, then what happens then?
Well, you get to see that with all these other countries. I'm sorry, really.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
See what happens, which is why those countries call us. We already know what that looks like. You don't even have to imagine. I know a lot of people travel. It's usually like DR, Mexico, things like that. But when you start getting into your Eastern Europes and your Southwest Asia, and you actually see what no opportunity looks like, it'll change your mind on your own situation, because we have more opportunity. We got so much opportunity. We got so many people that can waste it. That's how much opportunity is there. People can come from other countries, and come here and benefit, because they're sitting here telling you, there's opportunity here. But what I think people are stuck on is fairness. If you wake up in the morning waiting for stuff to be fair, you never get out the bed. Like if I focus on you, I focus on my path if I'm looking on the other side of the road. You know what I'm saying? You can only run forward. Looking back, you're gonna hit something eventually, because you're not focused. You're not looking ahead. People live for today and not enough for 2 to 5 years down the road.
I always have a question on Thanos on Chicago. You can answer this as well. Why they won't let you allow you to join the military in your 30s? Why? Because you're too old?
No, you got up to, depending on which branch you go into, some go up as high as 35.
35, yeah.
That's it. That's the limit. 35.
Yeah. What I would, if I actually had the button and can control stuff, I would actually not even have strict fitness requirements, not bad health, like, heart attacks or nothing. But if you're coming in IT, but you necessarily can't do 100 push-ups, but you can sit here and link up any kind of system I can put in front of you.
Yeah,
I will build it up around that. So now I can have an even bigger military and have the right people in the right places.
Facts.
Like, remember the movie? Y'all saw that movie? What's that movie? Where I think it was like 5 sectors you get Divergent.
I love that.
Yeah. I would think our country could be amazing if we actually focus on that. But what's the first person that's going to yell out is, that's not fair. I feel like I should be able to do such and such. It's just the equivalent of someone saying, I deserve to be in the NBA. Why?
No.
But that's where I think to me, dang, because it's gonna sound contradictory, but that's where I think we divulge from what we consider a true democracy, and people should be told what they need to do. A lot of people don't know what's best for them.
Mm-hmm.
You always
so Chicago, you talking about dictatorship? So you talking about dictatorship? That's what you're talking about?
Nah. I'm talking about good leadership. I'm talking about good leadership.
No, but he's right. Go ahead.
No.
Hey, really, I just want to say,
I'm always going to defer to you in this conversation, man.
I just want you. I agree with you on the point of the ancestors, because that's the reason why. Like, I take it serious to the point to where I even watch what I do on here, like how I talk to people, how I interact. Because even though my mother don't watch YouTube or be on here, I kind of try to move, you know what I'm saying, in a way that someone could be proud of me. You know what I mean? So of course you ain't gonna do everything perfect, but that goes into the same thing. If we know a lot of our forefathers died for the opportunities we have now, why waste them?
No, definitely.
Why are you still complaining? And that blood was already shed.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you was here in this country before slavery or not, I wouldn't wish to go back to Africa. I have no ties there. I've been to many countries over there and visited and things like that, but I tell you right now, I would never want to be anywhere other than America.
I've heard good and bad stories over there. I don't know what SB experience is like over there now, but I've seen good and bad. I've seen this one story. The brother was on Passport Heavy talking about how he built the whole ocean front over there for Ghana, and now they're trying to take the land back from them.
Oh, yeah, they already took it.
They already doing that to
they demolished it.
Yeah.
They
demolished it.
They demolished it. Go look at the news. They already demolished. They say he had no rights there.
And see, that's what happens. That's the difference between us and other countries. We actually allow people from other countries to come in and purchase land, real estate here.
Yeah.
Most other countries, unless you're
don't
married,
do that. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I heard Richie Mack saying that on Thailand, on Zoom to Thailand. He was saying
they do not play. Yeah, they do not play.
He could buy a condo, but he couldn't purchase land.
No.
And I don't think his lady could purchase the land either. It has to be like a male or something. So this is listen, man, the conversation is so nuanced because then this is where we get to talking real talk because we understand certain things as men. And then the women will say, oh, you're being misogynistic. It's the patriarchy. Okay.
But I don't even think it's a man-woman thing because, like, it's a lot of women in the military that are true patriots. Like, take that joint serious.
Yep.
And it's a lot of women in the military that can outdo other military men.
Now that part I agree with.
It just depends on, it's all mindset. Everything is all mindset. No matter what subject area we talking about, it's all mindset how we handle it. So if your mindset trash, everything is going to be hard to you. Or you just not going to do anything because you feel you don't have to. And that goes back to Ronnie's point. A lot of people don't. Or did you make that point, Ronnie, that you said that people Rilla, that most people don't know what to do?
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you fight against leadership and you don't have a plan for yourself.
Jayla had a question for Rilla. She said, Rilla, why do you think it is a man versus woman thing?
Because I'm old.
Good answer.
No, it's a mindset. I mean, honestly, listen, I'm not that big or bad where I can't admit my mindset needs adjusting sometimes. So even with what Thanos just said, I'm listening to what he's saying and taking that into consideration because he has the firsthand experience, right? But I think I also was listening to kind of what Steph was saying, so that may have influenced my decision too. Because again, I have a daughter in the Air Force right now, but I know she's she's a linguist, so she speaks French and Mandarin, right? And so from what I understand, as part of the intelligence apparatus, she may never see hand-to-hand combat or whatever, but it doesn't mean that I'm not still concerned for her. And she's very smart, so I really wasn't trying to make it like that. I guess I was thinking more hand-to-hand combat, but again, listening to Thanos, I'm like, okay, I can see that point. So don't get mad at me, Donut Head, just pull up.
Quick question for both of you on Thanos and also you on Chicago. What do you think about when people say black men shouldn't join the military?
They're crazy because then why be here?
I think every one of these gang banging wannabe thugs should enlist in the military.
Yep,
I think they should be drafted. I think every violent offender. Now I don't know what Thanos is going to think about this, but I do.
I don't agree because we do have military and federal prisons for a reason.
Yeah, I figured that may be a slippery slope, but I and I think. Well, let me ask you this, Thanos. Is there a parameter that you would put on it? Like for, I don't know, like simple assault, simple battery cases. If somebody has that on their jacket, do you think they should have the ability to join? I'm not talking about like hardcore felony aggravated assault. I'm not talking about that type of violent criminal.
I think it should be case by case.
Okay, that's fair.
Like sometimes depending on if they're short in recruiting, which we are now, I would do it case by case.
Yeah, because I understand that y'all
They have
deal with a
ways.
lot of hotheads too, so I know that part, right?
Yeah,
I
they
guess my
have
point
ways.
is, my point is they should expand the parameters. That's all I'm saying. They should expand the parameters. That's
Yeah,
all.
I will push it to well, if everybody did it out of high school, the age parameter wouldn't be as bad. But far as the draft, I will push the draft up to 30.
No, I believe another thing I want to point is too. There's a lot of our kids out here roaming aimlessly who don't want to go to college, who don't want to get a trade, and they're saying that there's no jobs here when clearly you can make a career out of this. This used to be one of the top things to want to do. Now we have a lot of people on YouTube, TikTok who speak so negatively and diverting people away with say, don't go to the Army, when a lot of us, even me and my family, has benefited from this. My brother served a majority of his life, his wife. I got another brother who's in DC right now. Worker who's a real he's a lifer in the Navy. So, you know what I mean? I would not take no slander on no military. I'm a foreigner. You know what I mean? We have been eating high off the hog. No, my nigga, if I have a son, I want you to go out here and die for here. That's how I feel. And, you know what I mean? And for people who are born and raised here, you have an invested interest to invest in interest. Your sweat, blood, and tears are in this.
Yeah, because right now even the military is not even the same because there's so much liberal and outside influence in it now that who said that Big Mufasa? Yeah, they're making it hard to instill discipline and things like that because it's always let's make everybody happy, everybody's right. There's no such thing, but that's what they continue to sell, that everybody can be happy. You can't make everyone happy. It's winners and losers in any situation. Because then what's the point of even saying winning if no one's supposed to lose? So my thing is put yourself in this. Always give yourself options. You can give yourself options by learning, gaining knowledge, just in case you may need it later. Most of the reason I'm benefiting now in life is a lot of the choices I made earlier. So I may not have utilized those skills 10 to 20 years ago, but they're helping me now. So you don't just learn just for right now. You learn for your future and then your generations that's coming behind you. Your kids.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. This is a really good conversation. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is really, really good. I want to say something too. I think the people that's in jail right now, that's in prison for like murder cases, like long cases, like they're doing life in prison without parole. I think they should go in the military. I think they should. Because they're never gonna see a day in life. What the hell are you doing in prison? You're not doing nothing there. Put them in the military.
And Thanos, that's why I think but that's why I think Thanos case by case scenario comes into place, because I think if they could pass the psyche valve, most of those cats, man, when you sit down and really
they would love to be outside.
Well,
they would love to be outside.
but even these, like even those cats, to your point, Ronnie, like when at least a few that I've talked to that I know of that's got some real stuff on their jacket, they not that same person. They wasn't even that person that, you know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully this makes sense. They wasn't even the person that night that incident happened. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's possible for them to have a change of mind. I know prison definitely isn't the best place for rehabilitation and to assimilate people back into society. So I just think they should expand the parameters and examine if that is in fact an option, you know.
But think about it, Chicago. You got people right now that's in prison for 10 years for PPP loan scam.
Yes.
Put them in the military.
Yeah. Oh, nonviolent, absolutely. Nonviolent offenders, I think absolutely you should look at them. All those white collar dudes, hey man, hey Thanos, put them on intelligence with y'all, man. if they that slick that they could concoct these schemes to, you know, scam and scrimp on the government or these businesses, you know, there's no telling what's hidden in that beautiful mind of theirs. So I don't know. I just think they
I know, but Chicago, they should make that option. Like during the prison sentence, to be like, hey, you want to join the military? I'll be like, yes. If I'm gonna do 20 years in prison, put me in the military. I'll do it.
Well, see, but you're also missing the key factor too. You know, like I currently possess a clearance, and so my stuff is constantly, you know,
Oh, they can't get that
every
clearance.
while
Yeah.
they investigate and, you know, make sure I'm doing right, whatever like that, to see if they got to suspend my clearance. DUIs can suspend your clearance, any type of assault or whatever that's not reported. Money issues, you know, that'll flag you. So when you talking about giving someone clearance over classified systems and they already shown that, you know, they can't even follow basic rules. That's why I say case by case basis.
I see that. Yeah.
Would you want to risk that? Because if somebody coming to you from another country with a bag talking about, hey, I got 75 right now.
I got you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This information about this, and that.
That's fair. That's fair. I get it, brother. You're educating us.
Yeah. So it's not like, so even in just regular life, in civilian life, you know, people who get out of jail, I don't just paint everybody with a broad brush. I'm looking at what have you done lately?
Yeah.
What have you been doing since this happened? Are you teaching others, hey, don't follow my path? This is what I learned, so you do this different. I walk this way, I need you to walk the other way. So when I start seeing stuff like that and I start seeing change, because it may have just been a situation where they just didn't have nothing to look at to do better. I mean, a lot of people think that, you know, I didn't go through nothing or came from Silver Spoon, but I didn't. I've learned by bumping my head so that my little cousins, my little brothers, sisters don't have to necessarily go through the same thing I did. Or from the positive side of it, hey, I did this, and it worked. Here's the blueprint. You change it how you need to, but this is how I got here. Maybe you can utilize this as a tool to be able to build something for yourself. You don't have to do exactly what I did, but I can show you based off my 43 years that, hey, I made this decision that didn't work, but I made these over here, and I'm at where I'm at now.
Sugar Bomb say you can't. Them criminals are liable to turn on your ass.
I hate that. I love Sugar Bomb so much, man. I hate that. I love her so much.
but to me, it ain't gonna happen because them military, them boys are trained. They'll take you down in a heart. They'll take you down before you turn on them.
But a lot of things you also see when I was in basic training, it was white dudes in there who never. I was the first one of the few black people they ever came across in life.
Wow.
And I could tell they were taught certain things, but usually when you're in stressful situations and stuff like that where you need to count on each other, a lot of that dumb stuff go out the window.
Facts.
You know
Big
what I'm saying?
facts. Yeah.
Like the latest thing I went through was 2020, and we had 2 rocket attacks. We had Trump had just used the drone to take out Soleimani, the highest general they had. And so they responded with 2 rocket attacks on his birthday. And we lost people. Like, it was a dude that got taken out right in front of me. So it was like wrong place at the wrong time. Getting off the bike to come into the bunker. He had his helmet on. As soon as he got off the bike, the rocket hit the ground and a piece of shrapnel caught right under the side of the helmet and the side of his head. And my captain was trying to stop him from bleeding out, but you know, your temple right there, so the blood is constantly at high pressure pulsing. So, you know, it wasn't going to save him. But it's like when you look at things like that, you're not thinking about who black, who white, who this, who that, because it's real. So that lets you know that so many people are entitled, and because of the freedom and the opportunity we have, you get to think of dumb shit. You had a freedom to think of stupid stuff to do, and no reasons to fight back, and just arguing just to argue, just because you have the freedom to. And freedom's not free. I know it's part of the word, but it is not free. Either you or somebody else sacrificed for that.
Talk about it.
Well, Thanos, you answered Sugar Bump question. She asked, had you ever served in combat? Now I have an honest question.
Yeah, I was combat comm. So even though I did communications, I was attached to combat in the Air Force.
I'm wondering if I should ask this back time, but I think it may help somebody else. So listening to you describe that incident with your comrade catching shrapnel right in front of you, and you having a firsthand account of that. I, when I was younger, saw somebody get shot in front of me. And I always say to this day, because I stay trying to unpack that, right? Because it's just never affected me. Brother name was Marlon. We used to hoop at Palmer Park all the time. And he was flagging. He was a gangbanger. But on that particular day, somebody that had an issue with him literally pulled up. He was standing across the street. I was over there by A&P. They pulled up, dumped 2 in his chest, and literally rode off on a bike, right? And I rode with him to the hospital, all these things, and they pronounced him dead at the hospital and all this other stuff, right? But it never, I always thought like I would be traumatized. I would, like that would affect me some type of way, and it just never did. So I know your demeanor and how you carry yourself. And my question is, in that, because that's at a more so traumatizing scale.
No, it's the same.
How did you work through that? And, okay.
Yeah, it's the same PTSD.
Okay, so how did you work through that, or did it impact you?
I'm desensitized. Because that was only just one issue. Like we used to have, especially when I used to go talk to my friends on the Army side, it would be Humvees that came back in pieces. People have to clean that up. So you can just finish playing basketball with somebody or eating at the dining facility, and they didn't come back. And we're talking about body parts and with tags on them to make sure when they bring that black bag down and they identify, they put that stuff together. So when y'all see those caskets coming on the plane, a lot of times it's not whole bodies in there. Like you have to clean out certain blown up vehicles with pieces of people you just finished talking to. They go out on security patrol and they don't come back. And after a while, at first, yeah, you cry. And I'm talking about muscle bound, 6'4" and up niggas, like crying, real tears, because that's how strong the bonds was over there. And after a while, you just get used to it. And I know that sounds bad to say, but it's like, dang, it's expected. So it's not shocking anymore. Just like people on the streets, with their life. Like after a while, you get desensitized to it. Yeah. To where you didn't necessarily process it, but since that comes with the game, you kind of just accept it. You don't want it to happen, but it's just what it is. And that's why I do wish that people take some parts of people who move a certain way, because the reason why I don't let a lot of BS get me hype or make me crash out, because this is dumb shit compared to the stuff I experienced and seen.
That's a fact.
Like, ain't nothing worse than not breathing no more. You can't get nothing right after that. You can't make peace. You can't ask for forgiveness. You can't give forgiveness. It's over. It's done. So why not live your life like, hey, I appreciate living, so that's how I'm gonna live my life. I know people gotta, match energies, and we human and we got feelings and emotions. But managing emotions will help you through anything in life. Taking tests, anything, just communication with your kids. Manage your emotion. I think I whooped my kids probably up until they was 8, my oldest, and then realized when I was getting upset and wanting to do it.
Yep.
I was like, yo, I'm not doing this no more.
Yep, same.
I'm talking because it's not doing anything. Because one thing for the people who have kids are going to be kids. You know what I'm saying? Just because we was taught that, it don't necessarily mean we got to cut off everything our elders taught us. But we can always make things better. What I don't agree with is just wiping stuff out across the board with no reason for it.
Yeah.
So.
Man, sorry to Chicago. Yeah, that is. Sorry to Chicago, and down for what y'all experienced, man. That's
I got one last question for Thanos. Thanos, so with your life experience, and first, and thank you for your service to the country, because I don't think people are aware of that. So how do you
Oh yeah,
react?
that's my whole family too. Mom,
You,
pops, grandfather, uncle, brother, sister. We
so
all
so
serve.
it's tradition for you. So how do you react when you hear people talk negatively of of the army, or just the service in general, knowing that you're a lifer and this is like tradition for you?
I would respect it more from a person who served honorably and they were taking that side. But if most of those people are outside looking in and not seeing the big picture, like they don't understand the reason our country is as great as it is. Of
Yeah.
course, we don't always have our faults.
Yeah.
It's because of our military. Like you got to realize World War II and one would have looked completely different if we didn't join in. The only reason we joined in was because, Japan. Other than that, you know how much money we was making manufacturing weapons and all that stuff for England and France and all that.
Mhm.
Like we was making money, we was getting it.
Mm.
But whew, then y'all make me think about some stuff. But yeah, every situation is not going to be that deadly scene. For the most part, most people not going to see combat unless you're infantry, unless you're, in on that side of the game. Because you also have like engineers. People don't look at the fact that engineers got to go put up these walls that's outside, or these T-walls, which is these big cement walls that you'll usually see like in the movies. They're just tall cement walls that they just connect across. Like a lot of engineers die just using bulldozers, because we got armored bulldozer and all this equipment, because they have to set up stuff for people to come actually live and stay there. So certain job fields will take you in the line of fire, but
as a contractor too, like a civilian contractor.
Oh yeah, so you got, most people don't even realize that you have civilians that work hand in hand with a lot of these these combat units.
Oh wow.
Whether it's IT, whether it's even helping train other country soldiers and stuff. It's a lot of wrong place at the wrong time situations, but you understand the task. So yeah, a lot of people went over there for money, but in the back of your mind, you know what could happen. So you can't look around and be like, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen, send me home. No, we know what we signed up for. They don't pay that money for no reason.
Yeah. Hazard pay.
Thanos.
They don't pay that for no reason.
I got one question, and I gotta jump off because I got a conference call with my tribe in a minute, right? My seeds. My ladybug says she got a big announcement for us, so I need to see what she's talking about. So I'm listening to us have this discussion around military, and first of all, gentlemen, salute to y'all for allowing the conversation on your platform, and also y'all are in this space and y'all tackle the topics that are like hot in the news and all this other stuff, but y'all do it in a balanced way, in a way that we could digest, relevant everyday life without all the BS, right? But so I appreciate y'all for always allowing me space up here and get my beta self host studisms off, right? But Thanos, I'm thinking about this conversation, right? Because Juneteenth is Wednesday, and I'm thinking about the Union soldiers that had to march into Galveston, and thinking about the service and the risk that they ran marching into Galveston, right? You know me, I'm super pro blackity black all the way down to my laundry detergent and my drawers, right? How do we honor and celebrate the legacy of Juneteenth with military in mind? What are your thoughts around that? And I'm on mute.
Well, first of all, Juneteenth, it was a gimme. It was a crumb. They kind of destroyed it. I think they should have left it the way it was. Because you can't expect white people to respect this if Black people don't respect Juneteenth. You know how many people didn't even know the 19th Juneteenth? Yeah. And even to this day, I think it's the third year or the third year we got it as a holiday. A lot of people forgot.
Yep.
Until they said it was time off. It's not being celebrated. It's not getting that love like a 4th of July. And I hear some people be like, oh, because I
On
got
Memorial
my
Day,
family be
let me
like, oh
say
yeah, I don't
Memorial.
celebrate 4th of July, blah, blah, blah. But most people, they're going to still support Black people. They're going to support 4th of July. That June 19th is just another day off. And I hate that it's like that, but I know why it's like that. That was supposed to shut us up during the time we didn't, when he came into office. We saw what the Asians got. We saw what the LGBT community got. And this was okay, just hold this right quick. I'll get back to you later. But then once again, they never get back to you. That's why I'm like, if people stop when they're taking care of business, please, as much as you can, muster, take the emotions out of it. Because the person that will help you in the craziest situation in your life might be your enemy. But if I'm sitting there saying, well, I ain't taking this because you did this to me in 3rd grade. What logic is behind that decision? If I don't care who's helping you, if they're helping you know what I mean? I understand the risk that could be involved in it, but if somebody even that didn't like you or is giving you some type of game that you could utilize and move forward on, focus on the message.
That's powerful.
Fire.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Bars.
So, guys, any final thoughts? As pretty much the show is pretty much over, but any final thoughts? Chicago Gorilla and Thanos. Thank you guys so much for being on here, and also Stephanie
Appreciate
Watkins. Y'all guys went deep dive on this topic here. I ain't gonna lie, it's beautiful topic. Beautiful, beautiful. Any final words, Thanos or Chicago Gorilla?
Yeah, and I'll be quick. So right now, once again, we're stuck in distractions, and it's not just on these panels. It's even on the outside too. It's so many pieces being moved that people aren't paying attention to because we're focused on sports. We're still focused on who's sleeping with who in Hollywood and doing this and this and that. I understand, but at the same time, realize that a lot of this stuff is allowed to go on. You know how you wonder why certain people get kicked off of YouTube and some people don't?
Yep.
Because
Yes.
I can't wake up everybody. I need everybody dumb. I need everybody fighting. I need everybody divided.
Good point.
And that's the main reason why, you're not going to see me as much. It's going to take a good conversation to bring me up because I've wasted 3 years of my life. I've even made some dumb decisions, whatever like that. But when you gotta speaking of finances, folk, take all the time we spend on here. At least be working your second or your part-time job while you watching. You can be on stream and depending on what kind of job it is, you can be on the panels if you have to be on it. But don't let that take your mind off what's really going on in the economy, on the world news. It can't just all be about relationships, because my thing is, if people want to be in relationships, they will be in them.
Yep.
If you understand, like, hey, I don't have to play all these games. Either you want me or you don't. But a heartbreak is not death. Eventually, time will heal that, and you move on. But if you want to get stuck and what happened before, even when we had the conversations about the community and things like that, okay, we know what happened, but what are you doing now? And I know they say, oh well, if you don't know what happened before, they bound to repeat it, whatever like that. Like just take care of yourself. You only got one of these lives, but as you see, most people don't live like they live like we got 9 lives. So a lot of times they're going to wait till it's too late, and you're talking to like the everybody from like my urban areas, the hood or whatever like that. Y'all know that guy or woman that's walking the street, and then everybody be like, oh yeah, that person used to be the man back in the day, and high school was getting it, and one bad decision either fried his brain, got something laced, or just one bad decision, party too hard and tried something and it got him stuck. You don't want to be that dude. You don't want to be 60 years old and don't have a retirement or don't have a pension or something to keep you going, because especially us men, ain't nobody coming to save you.
Mm.
Talk about it.
When women have that luck, not all women, but you know what I mean when I say that, like a lot of times when we see a woman in a situation versus a man in the same situation, that woman's situation is going to look 10 times worse. Damn it. So my thing is like, yeah, have your fun, and just like anything else, do it in moderation, but take care of the business. My hardest works was in my 20s. Yeah, I partied in it, but for the most part, a lot of stuff I didn't do. And I would say if I had a time machine, I would stay in my 40s. I would stay in my 30s and 40s because just of the freedom and the wisdom I got to go with it. Because you can have all the money you want and you're a fool. We already know that money was soon to part because you're not going to do right by it. I can see my time, sir.
Man, down to Marco.
No, you're right. And listen, we got to give credit to you're right, Chicago right. But I want to put respect on Logic name because he always pop out and say, y'all still having these DNP conversations. There's a warship off the coast of Miami. He said, you niggas is crazy. You know what I mean? So it's a real thing. You know what I mean? We can't be lost in transition with the things that we're doing. We have to be more progressive and have to be focused on us, especially as us people as color. You know what I mean? We always focus on the most negative things when there's more things we can do by trying to improve our life for each and every one of us.
You're right, Hakeem. At least try. I want to see you at least try, and I don't have no issues. But if I'm hearing you complain and you've been doing the same thing we've been doing since high school, I don't want to hear that shit from you.
Talk about it.
Not that I don't want to hear it at all. I don't want to hear it from you because we both had the same opportunity.
Facts.
And that's including my family. I tell people I talk about my family, then go out to the community, because if your own house ain't insecure, why the hell I'm focused on outside, what's going on outside, and I don't have my stuff right at home.
Big facts,
man. Big facts. And that's why it's very important to make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, special shout out to Stephanie Watkins, also Chicago Rilla, and also Big Thanos.
Oh, I was in y'all state, but I wasn't that far south. I was in the Kissimmee, Orlando, for a couple weeks kicking back.
Well, you ain't missed nothing. You ain't missed nothing because I wasn't even here.
Did you peep how he flexed on y'all real quick? I was smooth. I was listening to some deal with a guy.
Hey, but you know what, Rilla?
But he was in Kissimmee. He was in Kissimmee.
You know what I said, Rilla, though? I said if I did come back all the way back into space, I'm not being humble no more, because
you shouldn't.
Because I think it was Big Mufasa and them was telling me, hey, we don't like when you in these conversations because you derail it.
Yep.
Because your experience is outside the norm, you're derailing the conversation. But if they look at it different, as if you're, and not to Big Mufasa personally, but for the youngins, you need to see something higher than yourself to be able to
1,000%.
Exactly. Flex.
It used to be when the OGs, listen, it used to be when you see the OGs come down in that granddaddy caddy, that big body Benz, like you aspired to be like that.
That was my uncle, had a caddy every 2 years, a new one.
Hey, the unk that pulled up with a wad of cash in his pocket and had something for all the kids to go and get ice cream out the ice cream truck.
I ain't gonna lie to you, guys are my motivation, but I be seeing a lot of say, I got 3 cars. I'm like, yeah, I need to give me another one. You get what I'm saying? Like,
let me give Logic his flowers too before y'all get up out of here, man. Shout out to Logic with his fat ass. One of the things that I absolutely love and appreciate about that brother is that he's been consistent. When he saw what was going on with the DNP conversation, this is even when we was on Thursdays, and he shifted to focusing more on policy. When we have these conversations in this election year, once again, and people are either apathetic or uninformed per usual, he's telling you to focus on policy. And I'm telling you, the more that I'm at the crib, I'm focused on hyperlocal, right? Policy is the main thing we should be focused on. And also his contribution to these DNP conversations that the women should be focusing on the man with a plan. You don't marry the man, you marry the plan. If that man does not have a plan, that is not your man. You understand what I'm saying?
Powerful, man.
Yeah.
Drop Mike. No,
No,
but shout
I,
out to Logic. He is very
Yeah,
deep, man.
yeah. Shout
Guys,
out
y'all
to
make sure you
Logic
just
too.
subscribe.
Fat
Subscribe
ass.
to Chicago Gorilla. Subscribe to Stephanie Watkins. Thanos, I don't even know. Do you even have your channel anymore or no? You
no,
because you really don't care.
I'm about to take those videos down. Nah, like all jokes aside, I'm about to
That means
take
money talk
because
coming.
I
Big money
wasted a
talk
lot of
coming.
time. When Rilla just finished talking about the Thursdays, that was the last time I was like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about the space, because I was like, yo, it's black people and we up here talking about real stuff. But when I found out that a lot of this was about the money,
Of course, it's
it,
always
it,
about the
it
money.
broke my heart. And that's when I had took that 5-month break, 2
Uh-oh.
years ago, because I was really hurt behind it. I had to be honest with myself, like, yo, it's okay to be hurt because you had expectations of something great. And when they pulled like the car cover and the sheet up, I was like, yo, this not it. Like, yeah, some people won't get some money, but for the most part, I hate to see us selling ourselves and degrading ourselves because they think this is money. This is not money. Yes, everybody's not going to be the 1%, but this should be a supplement, because everybody's not going to be that YouTuber where they can just shut down everything else on the outside and they don't went viral and they can get that bag to sustain them and actually spawn other businesses and put other people on. That's not going to be everybody's story. Majority, that's not going to be everybody's story. But it's almost like how we trapped into basketball, football, are selling crack. Oh, everybody can do it. That's the dream. Even though there's a billion other things you could do, we focus on these top 3 things as the only way to make it. It's more to life than entertainment, believe me, because it's going to be days nothing's going to make you laugh.
Damn.
Boy, I already know, man. Deep. I got a lot of clipping.
Hurting my
Boy,
stomach when
Hakeem.
you say it's
Okay,
days nothing's gonna make you laugh.
I got a lot of clipping to do, boy. Cause that he deep. Go ahead, Jordan. You were saying something?
I know. I said that's Thanos with snapping his fingers with the 6 rings.
Boy.
No, but that's thankful to y'all, because Hakeem opened my eyes up a while ago. And not to bring something, because that was in the back, Hawk, was when you was telling me about when I first pulled up and how you looked at some of us was crazy. Like when you like, hey, we looked at some of y'all like, like you famous, whatever. And I had to take a step back and was like, and this is why you have to watch how you move, especially in the public space, because you don't know who's looking at you. You don't know who's
They know they do. People look up to you. I'm telling you, Thanos, you'll be surprised. People,
Chicago
Logic,
Gorilla,
Chicago,
Logic,
Anton,
I seen all y'all
all
over
of
there.
them, they really look up to y'all.
And y'all
Y'all
didn't
be
even know who
surprised.
I was, but I knew who y'all was. And I was like, damn, I want to be like these guys, because the information was so impactful. I wasn't looking at them other guys, because them guys wasn't moving correctly. We know who they are.
Jay Prince. I used to tell Jay Prince all the time, like, Jay
Yeah.
Prince, be careful how you move, because people are really they follow you. Nah, man, they follow you. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Like
they looking for
opened my
leaders,
eyes,
man.
And then that's
No,
when
but
I
it's
was
true.
like, whew, yeah, bro, I need to get back, because you got a YouTube ego, and then we know what happens outside when we turn off the panel. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is not going to affect us on the outside, but when you walking in integrity and you realize, hey, just because I can get away with it online don't mean I should be moving like this. If I don't deal with people like this in real life, I definitely don't need to even do it on here. So I respect a lot of y'all, which is why I would never come on here shitting on somebody or saying you need to do this and do that. I make suggestions as far as if you're doing something egregious, like you may want to do something different. But like, I respect, everybody gets my respect off gate until you give me a reason not to give it to you. I know it's, it could be dangerous in some situations, but because I believe in a higher power, higher than myself, I focus on the positive of the situation.
But shout out to the lovely Natasha Vincent, the mom mother who's also in the building. Killer Swag, Killer was also in the building. The lovely Jalen was also in the building. Shout out to her. Shout out to Eric Brown. Shout out to the lovely Bobby Bryan was also in the building. I know Sherry Bryan's still on vacation with with her hubby, Gorilla Bat, Hakeem. They was looking nice over the
Yeah,
weekend.
They were.
Yeah, shout out to White High, shout out to the Sugar Bum, who's also in the building. The lovely Shafaya was also in the building today. Shout out to Big Mustafa was also in the building as well. And I would have a shout out to his channel as well. I think he has the channel now. It's called Chaotic Clubhouse. They be over there. They be acting a fool over there in the
I love it over there. Salute to sports.
Shout out to Jay Ali and Big Mustafa. They don't think I'll be watching. I'll be in the class. Shout out to Chicago Gorilla, who's also in the business. Shout out to Kendall. He's not here, but I know he's watching as well. Fresh Sound, Florida. And also Urban Noah was also in the building as well. Shout out to those that watch us on Instagram, Facebook, Kick, and also Twitch. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to Genesis at the Dock, who also was in the building today. Lovely Genesis was in the building. She called herself Simp Angel No More. I'm like, change your name. These people here are.
Hey, I was about to move. I was about to move to y'all state last week. I lasted for 3 days. Like, yo, I'm moving to Orlando. Or I'm moving to.
I'm trying to tell you, Orlando is beautiful.
Man,
Orlando's nice.
That heat let me know on day number 3.5. Like, nah, son.
No, but in the winter it's better. In the winter it's better. Miami is just worse because Miami right now we're dealing with a lot of floods because of the weather and but Orlando and Tampa. Those are the two top people will tell you. Those are really vacation.
I was at the Miami Mall and I just had a smile on my face the whole time. Like, that's just my environment.
Yeah, that's Orlando. Yeah, you in Disney. Yeah, you're happy.
They just driving them like they nothing. They dirty. Like I saw a dirty Maybach truck, and I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You living your life.
They got money here. No, they do. They got because a lot of people that retired, they got money here. They really got money. Y'all make sure you go to KL Culture Radio Community Tab. In the Community Tab, there's the KL Culture Radio T-shirt, what I got on, the KL Culture Radio hat. Also, the KL Culture Radio coffee mug. I don't have it on me. Jordan, you got the coffee mug. And also, Prince Hakeem book, Black Love. I don't have it on me as well. So come over here, support the platform. We really do greatly appreciate it. Today, we was on a little bit on overtime. And also, guys, make sure you go also to Ashton Williams' channel. He's about to get ready to go live. He normally go live around 8:30 Eastern time, 7:30, I think, Central time. He's about to get ready to go live. Y'all go over there, support the brother. Make sure you get his 1K subscriber. He's been working very hard. That man been doing live stream. He did live streaming 11 hours by himself. That man be holding it down. Him and his co-host Mimi, they be doing the thing, man. I'm proud of him. He's been very consistent. Keep up the great work. And not only that, but Thanos, happy Father's Day as well.
Happy Father's Day to you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
I ain't got no kids yet, but I got kids outside somewhere.
Yeah,
I gotta find them.
Just plan. That's all I gotta say. Just plan. Yo, live your life, and when you decide you want to have kids, just plan them, man. I know it sounds crazy, but it'll help you and save you from a lot of headache. Now you
because I gotta go to the grave empty. I can't go in there full. There's a lot of people in the grave that's full. I ain't trying to be one of them.
Yeah, because you can have your fun, just do it responsibly. Okay, hey, I tell y'all all the time, don't be like me. I don't know my body count, but be responsible if you do want to go down that lane.
No, definitely.
I don't know my body count. I'm just like you, Thad. I don't know my body count. Like always, thank you for tuning in to KL Culture Radio. We over and out.